Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to this lovely video. Today we're going to be reviewing Smackdown Live on May 23rd. Yeah, that intro sucks, we're never doing that again. Anyway, the show kicks off with a police escort, which leads Jinder to Smackdown Live. I mean, I guess the whole point of like the first hour was supposed to be Jinder getting there, so I mean, it worked. The thing that caught my eye was the fact that you have real police there, but you also have the fashion police, which it was just a thing. So Shane actually comes out to really start the show, and he announces that we're going to have a rematch from Backlash as the main event of Money in the Bank. Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Question has to be, does Randy win it back, become a 14-time world champion? I don't think so. But at which point, then, who is Jinder going to be fighting to lose the belt to? I don't know. But anyway, he also announces that there's going to be a Money in the Bank ladder match at Money in the Bank. Surprise! Featuring 5 of the top SmackDown Live superstars. And in order of when they came down, we had AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Shinsuke Nakamura. That's a pretty good lineup. But then Kevin Owens comes out because when Shinsuke was about to come out, Kevin Owens came out first. And he's like, oh, this is my spot. Shane's like, you know damn well this ain't your spot. But Kevin Owens bitches enough that eventually he gets put in. So apparently that's a secret to being on SmackDown Live. But Corbin cuts him off. And he just tells Shane, just give him the briefcase now. Which, it was okay. Basically, the whole promo the whole segment basically just becomes everybody talking about whether they deserve it or why they deserve it, blah, 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 blah. 2 matches are announced for tonight. Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn, and Owens and Ziggler taking on AJ and Nakamura. So that's okay. The thing that stands out, for 2 things stand out. For one, wow, this is going to be a really good match. For all of you who might be complaining about certain people, I mean, I'm gonna make a case for everybody. So AJ Styles, I mean, he's got to be the best worker they have right now. So you can't complain about him. Sami Zayn, you know the internet loves Sami Zayn. He gonna do some crazy flips. He's gonna be okay here. I mean, the ladder match they had at WrestleMania, I want to say it was last year, not 33 but 32. I want to say Sami Zayn was in that one. It was a really good match, and Kevin Owens was also in it. Now, I would imagine that's going to help. I mean, Shinsuke's in there. You know, the one thing I don't like is that I don't think Shinsuke's going to win. But the glaring hole is Dolph Ziggler. Oh, but before I continue, Baron Corbin, he needs to be in it because you want to have some bigger guys, some slower guys that kind of counteract things. Baron Corbin also is basically the main eventer at this point. I mean, in the SmackDown Live world, who isn't? But Baron Corbin will be good to base a lot of jumps off of, and I mean, he'll serve his purpose, is what I'm trying to say. Dolph Ziggler, on the other hand, does not. Okay, so if the argument is, well, shit, he is a nice indie guy, fans like him. Well, you already got AJ Styles, you got Shinsuke, you got Kevin Owens, you got Sami Zayn. Doesn't really fit in there. Oh, he's a ladder match expert. Well, AJ Styles is also, to a point. I mean, here was the problem, though, because I was thinking about this, because I'm like, well, Dolph Ziggler hasn't won on pay-per-view since No Mercy. But the question is, who do you put in his place? And, okay, I'm going to skip ahead. I made a list of everybody who wasn't on SmackDown this week, and out of that whole list, I mean, Orton's in a feud with Jinder Mahal, so he's going to be in a match already. You have Cena, who isn't on TV, and we don't really want Cena in this. Luke Harper, you got Baron Corbin kind of already in that spot, but I could see an argument made for Harper. Rusev, maybe? I mean, if you really want to push this anything can happen on SmackDown Live thing, Ty Dillinger, maybe? Anyway, next we see Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus Carmella and Natalya. And the thing that sticks out a lot here is the fact we got video in video on the commercial break. That means we never had to stop watching this match. I'm wildly in support of this. Let's have this happen more. Anyway, the faces get their win back, and as I said a whole shit ton yesterday, who cares? They won the match that didn't matter, so it happened. Then we went to a commercial break, and when we came back, we were getting Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. Now, I'm a Baron Corbin fan, okay? But I don't really care for his music or his entrance, really. So I just kind of was tuning out a little bit, watching a video on YouTube, and I look up, and Sami Zayn is celebrating. So I'm like, what happened? Well, I guess Sami Zayn stole a victory, which... Why? You already beat him at Backlash? For as much as I think they know how to book Baron Corbin, I also think they don't know how to book Baron Corbin. Because they seem to do shit like this a lot. Like, a lot. But Baron Corbin beats the piss out of Sami Zayn, which we've seen already. I mean, this just wasn't going to work out either way. We see Shinsuke and AJ Styles backstage, and AJ brings up their history fighting in Japan and at the Tokyo Dome, which I'm all cool with. And then he mentions that Nakamura should just take his cue and just basically fall in line and listen to him. And then Shinsuke's like, well, you know what? At Money in the Bank, I'm going to win. So this is going to be my world. So it's okay. The thing that stands out, and I don't mean to complain, but you can really tell that Shinsuke, he's like just on the precipice of being a decent promo. And like, he stands out. So I'm not going to complain. But sometimes, you know, it works to his favor. I'm going to slash all that. We get a Fashion Files after that. Basically, Breeze and Fandango are saying, we're going to give up on this because we lost, which made no sense, really, but it was a humorous segment. It was kind of weak for a Fashion Files, but I mean, Then we get two matches announced. Breeze versus, I want to say it was it was Breeze versus Jey Uso, and Fandango versus Jimmy Uso for later on tonight. Okay. Whatever. Jinder comes out, and right at this point, we're at the hour mark. So, it's just something to keep track of, because that means they're really thinking this is important. Jinder comes out, he cuts a promo, there are Indian people dancing around the ring. Okay. It's a thing. What I kept thinking about was how bad this could turn out for the WWE. So, okay. It's 2017, guys. So, I can't make an argument for Jinder as champ, but it's aside from the point. Obviously, the company can. Okay, so they're showing in the video package all of the news reports that show that Jinder won the championship. And a lot of them are about how the fans were unhappy with it. Now, this is like right on the line of being too much. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, think about this, okay? What the mainstream doesn't know, as in non-wrestling fans, they don't understand that we understand this is a storyline and that we don't really care that Jinder's Indian or whatever he is, Canadian. We don't care about that. The thing that a lot of fans are upset about him winning the title is that he has been a jobber this whole time. Now, WWE is skating a really thin line saying, oh, the fans are unhappy about it. At some point, if you goof, it's going to become a legitimately racist thing. Where the fans are upset because he's an Indian. Which I know is the storyline, but you don't want the mainstream world to think that. Because it's not the truth. Maybe I'm overanalyzing this, and I'm sure, I know I am. I'm sure of that. But they're skating a thin line, and they have to be really careful. Because it's not going to make sense to explain this to regular people that the reason this is bad is because Jinder was a loser a month ago. because then you have to argue, well, in real life, you know, a loser can occasionally win. You win a few important fights, you're the best. But just be careful, please. I don't want to have to explain this to people. Anyway, then we get Breeze versus Jey Uso. Fandango distracts Jey, letting Breeze roll him up. Then we have the other match, Fandango versus Jey Uso, where Fandango versus Jimmy Uso. Breeze distracts Jimmy, Fandango steals a victory. Fandango challenges the Usos to a title match, which gets accepted. So my immediate thought is, cool, the titles are changing hands tonight. So during the match, instead of thinking, man, this is a good match, all I keep thinking about is, if you're going to have the titles change hands tonight, why didn't you just have it happen at Backlash? But the Usos retain. Which then the question becomes, why did we have this match tonight? Why didn't we have this match set up for next week? I mean, we'd already seen both the Usos in action, we'd seen both the Breezango in action, and there is a full list of people we didn't see in action. So, anyway, then after that we have Natalya, Carmella, Tamina, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte backstage talking to Shane about which one of them should be #1 contender, and it's a segment, I mean, And they announced that there's going to be a fatal 5-way elimination match next week, and here is my gripe with this. You're going to have this on Smackdown. 5 days, if my math is correct, 5 days before you actually have the fatal 5-way match for the #1 contendership for the Universal title. So it might be too much. Might be. Again, I'll give it a pass. The main event starts. It's a thing. The faces win. I'm sure nobody was really surprised by that. But I mean, meh. Overall, the show was passable. I mean, my main complaints on it, honestly, I'll up it from passable. It was a good show. I mean, the first like 20 minutes was just all of the competitors in the ring for the main event. And then the last 30 minutes were the 4 people for the tag team match in the ring. So it's like these 6 guys took up literally an hour of the show. And then the rest of the show was tag team match for the women, tag team match for the tag team division, and then, yeah, I think that was it, actually. Yeah. Unless I'm missing something. You also saw 2 matches where it was just a roll-up. And then I want to say we saw more, actually. Oh, because Sami Zayn must have won with a roll-up. So, basically, like, it was messy. They could have done things a little better. But I was in a relatively good mood. The show didn't irritate me and ruin that good mood. So, it was okay. I mean, if you're going to rewatch the show, or if you didn't watch the show and you just want to see what you missed, maybe... No, the opening segment wasn't that good. None of it. None of it. None of it was really worth going back and watching. If you missed this episode of Smackdown, you missed a good episode of Smackdown, but it's not like you're going to miss something that in a month's time you're going to be like, man, I missed that. Now, I had made a list of people who weren't on Smackdown this week, so let's review this list. We had no Aiden English, no New Day, no American Alpha, no Jericho, no Colognes, no Harper, no Rowan, no Cena, no Orton, no Mojo, no Rusev, no Sin Cara, no Ty Dillinger. So, the hour they gave the Money in the Bank participants could have been better allocated. But aside from that, I mean, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Comment with your opinions on SmackDown. If you thought it was a good show, then tell me. If you thought it was a bad show, tell me. If, yeah, there's no more ifs. If you have anything else to comment about, I guess comment about that. I'll read it all, so, thanks for watching.